Anytime injuries or fatalities happen on our streets, it's a shock to the communities, the neighbors.
Now at 4, 2 pedestrians hit near the same area within 1 hour. We'll tell you what the city's doing now to increase safety on its streets. Plus,
he's actually the first person in our family to go to college right out of high school.
A family in grief, a mother's grief. We will hear from the mom of the Indianapolis teen killed in yesterday's shooting at Kentucky State University.
And we've got several snowy systems on the way and also some bitterly cold temperatures, and that's just through the weekend's forecast. I'll show you what to expect in the forecast coming up.
Philip Rivers back in Indy, and this isn't a drill. There's a serious chance he's playing on Sunday. We break it down coming up live from Indy. You're watching 13 News.
good afternoon. We've got a busy hour ahead. Thanks for joining us at 4. I'm Dustin Grove.
And I'm Felicia Lawrence. And we actually begin with 2 pedestrians that were hit by cars within an hour today. The first happened along West Washington Street near Lyndhurst. Then it happened again, this time on Rockville Road, also near Lyndhurst.
Our Brandon Schaff has the latest from police and what's being done to stop what safety advocates are calling a growing problem here in Indy.
This area of Rockville Road was one of 2 scenes here on the Indianapolis West Side where pedestrians were struck by vehicles Wednesday morning and sent to the hospital.
At Rockville Road near South Lyndhurst Drive, IMPD says that a person was hit by a pickup truck around 7:15 in the morning. They were taken to the hospital in critical but stable condition. About 45 minutes earlier, along West Washington Street near Coolidge Street, another person was struck by a car and taken to the hospital in critical condition. Last week, the Indianapolis Vision Zero Task Force formally adopted the Vision Zero Action Plan. In a statement, Indy DPW says that it's a series of strategies requiring everyone's involvement to address safety challenges on our roadways. Health by Design is part of the task force and says this is a step in the right direction toward preventing the incidents on Wednesday morning.
The advocacy community, I think, really has been pushing for Vision Zero to be adopted for years, and it's really it's going to require Indianapolis to take a huge cultural shift in how they think about our roadways.
Andrea Watts says the long-term goal of the action plan is 0 traffic fatalities or injuries by 2035. Brandon Schaff, 13 News.
All right, Brandon, thank you. This has been happening so often in the last few years, some call it a crisis. According to a local tracking group, last year Indianapolis saw 873 total incidents involving pedestrians and bicyclists. That's up 27% from the year before. So far this year, there have been 761. 34 pedestrians or bicyclists have been killed. City leaders are working to try and turn those numbers around. As you heard Brandon mention, last year they launched Vision Zero, a project designed to eliminate all traffic deaths and serious injuries within a 10-year span. And this is something that other cities have already adopted and are working on by redesigning streets, trails, sidewalks, and public transit. So we'll see what they come up with over the next few years, and Brandon's going to have much more on this story for us coming up at 5. We are also learning more today about that deadly shooting at Kentucky State University. Happened on campus late yesterday, and one of the victims was a 19-year-old student from right here in Indianapolis. Dejon Fox Jr. was a sophomore at KSU who graduated from Victory College Prep. That's a charter school here in Indy where he played basketball. And we talked with his mom right there and his brother today, who are now trying to make sense of what happened. As you can imagine, they are devastated. They said he was kind, stayed out of trouble, and was a goofy kid at heart.
All he do is make people laugh. I don't know too many people who dislike him. How could you dislike him? Like, he gonna get on your nerves until you like him. He don't be like throwing up gang signs and he just was a cool, even though he was 19.
Fox and another student were shot yesterday afternoon on campus near a residence hall. Our sister station in Kentucky is now reporting the suspect, a 48-year-old man from Evansville, has been arrested for murder and assault. And according to the arrest report, there was some sort of physical altercation before the students were shot. But obviously still a lot of questions over what happened. The suspect is due in court tomorrow. KSU, by the way, has canceled all classes, finals, and activities for the rest of the week. And we're going to hear more from this family coming up at 5.
Well, after months of heated debate and state lawmakers feeling the heat from Washington, a final vote on redistricting is just 24 hours away.
It's all part of a Republican push to redraw the maps to try and gain more seats in the U.S. House next year. Our Emily Longnecker, she has been taking us through every twist and turn at the State House. She joins us live this afternoon with the latest. And Emily, senators could suggest changes to this proposal today. Did they end up adopting any of them?
Dustin, Felicia, not a single one. There were 3 amendments offered, all of them by Democrats. All of them were defeated. The bigger story today, though, I think is the question that's just been hanging over this entire situation, and that is the question of, are there enough votes in the Senate to pass redistricting and this proposed map? And the answer to that question really depends on who you ask. Everyone agrees, though, whatever happens tomorrow, they say it's going to be close. The Senate session today lasted only about 30 minutes. And before it was over, Republican Senator Mike Young got up and spoke in favor of redistricting. Young told 13 News earlier this week he's been having conversations to try to persuade members to vote yes for it. Today, he did that on the Senate floor.
Our districts aren't opposed to this. Democrats are opposed to it, and why wouldn't they be? Why wouldn't they be opposed to it? They've already cut the districts up where they got so many seats. They don't want us to do this. They don't want us to get more seats. Sure, they're opposed to it. They should be. I admire them for that.
And when today's session was over, senators left the chamber pretty quickly. Republican Senator Mike Crider, he has already said publicly that he is against redistricting, and he told us today that he is not going to change his mind overnight. Crider is the whip for Republicans in the Senate. That means before a vote, he calls people to try and persuade them either way on a vote. Take a listen to what he said.
Typically on a bill that we're thinking about, I would be calling everybody, trying to see where they're at. We haven't been doing that at all. I think we're trying to let people come to their own conclusion and respect their vote whichever way it goes. And you know, at the end of the day in this building, you either have 26 votes or you don't. And you know, sometimes you're on the winning side and sometimes you're not.
So the story today really is, where do each of these Republican senators stand on this? We know where Democrats stand on it. They are against it. And but as Senate President Pro Tem Roderick Bray said earlier this week, we're all going to find out together tomorrow, he said, where each of these senators stand, kind of in a when a push comes to shove moment for Senate Republicans here. Dustin, Felicia?
All right, Emily Longnecker reporting live from the State House. We'll know you'll stay on top of that. The happenings there, we will check back in. On to more news now. The Department of Homeland Security is responding after dozens of prospective citizens were turned away from a naturalization ceremony in Indianapolis. Typically, people who are invited to take the oath to America have been tested, vetted, and waiting for years. However, 38 out of 100 prospective citizens were turned away at the door ahead of yesterday's ceremony. This comes as the Trump administration is cracking down on immigration from certain countries. Today, the DHS said, in part, the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services has paused all adjudications for aliens from high-risk countries, while USCIS works to ensure that all aliens from these countries are vetted and screened to the maximum degree possible. That's a quote from our government.
All right, let's talk about the weather impact now as we take a live look outside. Cloudy, and if you notice what that's one word 3 times on the bottom of your screen there. Oh no, it's twice. And then
Look,
cold.
I've tried to do that. I tried to make it as easy as possible. Think of the Queen song, "We Will Rock You."
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Snow, snow, cold. Snow,
Okay.
snow, cold. That's going to be the next. See, Felicia doesn't like this at all, but
He
She's
was
over
trying
it.
to coach me
She is
with the
over
song
it.
at noon, and I'm like, it's just cold, there's snow, things are happening.
It's going to be pretty brutal over the next 4 days. 4 days.
Okay.
I think we've got some pretty serious weather coming in. It's going to impact you for sure if you're going to be traveling. Let me show you what we're talking about. These all together on their own aren't going to be huge systems, but we've got about 4 days here where we're going to have several systems moving through. There's the first one sometime late Thursday night and into Friday. Then we get a bit of a break. That one, by the way, would put down about 2 to 4. Then we go another snowy system, 1 to 3 inches with that one, and then bitter cold air moves in. It's also going to depend on how much snow falls from these two systems to allow our temperatures to drop. So it's snow, cold over the next several days or so. The colder air is now trying to move in. We can see that from the rain changing over to some snow. It's not falling very heavily. The accumulation is not expected from this system. It's not expected tonight. It's really not expected for the early part of tomorrow. Temperatures are currently into the 30s. You'll see those temperatures drop into the 20s over the next several hours. Not expecting or anticipating much in the way of any accumulation for what's going to be falling through tomorrow morning. It's tomorrow after, right now we're thinking after the evening commute that the system will arrive, but there's just a couple hours wiggle room, so we'll have to watch the evening commute tomorrow very carefully and should wrap up by Friday morning's commute. But I do think that the Friday morning's commute will be impacted. 2 to 4 expected for most of you. This is just the first in that series of systems. I'll be back in a bit to talk about what you can expect through the weekend coming up.
Okay, Rob, talk to you soon. Thanks. Colts News Now. I feel like we should call this the Philip Rivers Watch. Here's the latest. He's been signed to the Colts practice squad, and he is in Indy today. Back in Indy.
Back in Indy, Rivers addressed the media for the first time back as a member of the Colts today. Dom was there. He has more on this. This whole situation is just fascinating as we try to figure out what's going on with Rivers. Could he potentially play on Sunday? It's a lot of questions here.
Philip Rivers Watch, day 3. The mood is tense. We shall see.
We now go to Dom with the latest.
Yes, thank you. We found out a lot today at the Colts complex. Okay, just reading in between the lines a little bit. And I think this was kind of funny at first, like, okay, he's there, maybe mentor Riley Leonard. There's not a real shot he plays. It got very serious. I think there's a real shot he does play on Sunday. It's dire straits for the Colts. Again, just resetting the scene here. No one's just sitting around available when you have a string of injuries to the quarterback room, all right? Rivers, he was ready and willing, and boom, here he is. He made it clear today. He's not naive about any of this. He understands his physical limitations, although I will say, looks pretty good.
I mean, the arm is throwing.
The arm is there. The zip is there, okay? Mobility and conditioning, not quite there. But I mean, for a 44-year-old, look, all right, he knows the offense, the familiarity. Like, these are real things that played a part in this, okay? But that's much different what you see on the screen than playing one of the best defenses in the NFL on Sunday, you know, in the Seattle Seahawks, on the road, hostile environment. But with each passing moment, he says he's more and more confident he can do this. Shane Steichen echoes those sentiments. He spoke about how this all came to be, and Rivers is just pumped up for this opportunity.
For him to come back and want to do this at 44 years old, I think is incredible. And I know he's going to give everything to this organization that he has. You know, Sunday after the game, you know, when Daniel went down and then we found out about Riley's knee, we're kind of like, hey, what are we going to do? And me and Chris were talking, and we're like, hey, let's call Philip, see what he says.
They wanted me, and you know, I try to keep it as simple as that. And you know, a game I love to play, a game that I thought I was done playing. Certainly, I wasn't really hanging on any hope of playing again. I'd kind of thought that ship had sailed, but something about it excited me, and it's kind of one of those deals. The door opens, and you can either walk through it and find out if you can do it, or run from it.
Shane Steichen said when they asked Phil, all right, you ready to do this? He said, dadgummit, let's do it.
Oh, well, I mean, listen, okay, in the nicest, most respectful way, he doesn't seem conditioned.
No, and he admitted that. And again, he has no illusions about.
Which we're all working on ourselves, so no judgment.
Hey, who among us, all right? It's personality season.
Yeah,
it's
but
all good.
He is signing up for this, for the quarterback.
And they wanted him. He even said, you know, back when he was playing, it's not like he was running for first downs or anything anyway. So if he does play, it's going to be quick throws. It's going to be giving the ball to Jonathan Taylor. Okay. The familiarity is what's key here. Because it's either like 6th-round rookie on the road in a must-win spot or a 44-year-old who's been on the bench for 5 years. Okay. We'll see how it goes. But where do we stand with Riley Leonard?
Yeah.
You know, that's going to be coming up. his health isn't seeming like that big of an issue now, and it seemed more and more likely that even if he is healthy, Phillip Rivers will play. So I'd put it at about 60%.
Wow.
And I think that would go higher depending on how this week goes, unless he really looks like he can't do it in practice. But
okay, we
Steichen's
saw
confident. We'll have more at 5 and 6. But
we saw Miss Gordon Ursay out there, Miss Ursay Gordon out there with her clipboard, making sure everybody is on their P's and Q's.
Her and Shane were talking for a long time midfield, just
yeah,
watching.
I wouldn't mess with her.
No, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, that's
Look
awesome.
forward to hearing more from Phillip Rivers coming up at 5 and 6.
Good luck, Mr. Rivers.
Dom, thanks.
Grandpa.
Yeah. All right, coming up, what visitors to the U.S. may soon have to show authorities before crossing the border.
And wait until you see this crash landing. Caught on camera. Look at this right here in South Florida. Incredible. I'll tell you what happened to the driver and the pilot.
And we're also talking about snow coming in. This is the Thursday night into Friday morning snow system. Then there's another one on Saturday. Then some bitterly cold temperatures coming up.